Hi everybody, this is Kim from Lakeside Crafts by Kim. I've decided to start doing some videos, and today we are going to make a really cute Easter basket. For your supplies, what you're going to need is wire cutters, scissors, tape, Gorilla Glue sticks, an Easter basket or a basket of some type. I grabbed this at the Goodwill for 99 cents. Pretty inexpensive, and it's going to be adorable. Skewers, a cow patty is what I call them. This is made out of gaps and cracks. I just sprayed it in a patty form. We're going to use this inside the basket to put our flowers in it. It'll stick. I'll glue it in, and so we have something to put the flowers in so they stay where we want them. Spanish moss. We're going to need some yellow feathers, some duck bills, eyeballs, Easter egg embellishments, a 2 to 3 inch foam ball. 2 to 3 inches on this size basket. If you went bigger, you could, depending on the size of your basket, you could go, up to 4 or 5 inch ball, but you need a styrofoam ball. You need some loopy chenille. I got this from Amazon. It is 7 gauge by 3/4 inch diameter. Just fluffy yarn. You're going to need some, got some Easter grass, greenery, some flowers, and some accent flowers. These I bought a couple years ago, I believe, from Deco Exchange. I bought a ton of them. I love them. They're natural looking twigs, really cute flowers. I doubt they have them in stock, and I don't have a SKU for them, but they're Forsythia and Button Leaf Bundle, 24 inch. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is take our sphere. We're going to take a shish kebab stick and cut it evenly down the center, and I usually hot glue them together, like so. And then you're going to put a dab of hot glue on that. You don't need a lot. And you're going to stick it in the bottom of the sphere. And we're going to let that dry. Okay, that's first thing. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to cut 3 lengths of yarn. I don't have like a set amount of inches that I use, but this basket is about 7 inches in diameter at the top and approximately 5 inches at the bottom. So how I measure this is I will place this, and I always do extra. So you need about 26-inch lengths. You need 3 of them. So I just take, there. Now you got 3 26-inch lengths. You're going to cut the yarn. You got to cut the ends. Cut the other end. So you have 3 individual lengths or pieces. The next thing I like to do is a drop of glue. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yep. 1 drop of glue. And another drop of glue. You want to attach the end, one end of it. You want to let that harden up. Only takes a minute. And then, so you have 3 in a row. Now you're going to pinch the outer 2 together and put another drop of glue. And hold that till it cools so that it's adhered. Oops. And then take your tape, tape it down to your mat. Get these out of the way. And we're going to braid this. Simple. Oops, way up. Okay, Kim. All right. Don't pull too tight or the tape will come off. And just braid. Bring the outer edges to the center. Pull the center out to the edge. Y'all know how to braid, right? So I'm going to finish braiding this, and I'll be right back. So now we've come to the end. We've got our yarn braided. We've come to the end. So we're just going to glue that back together so that it's like one piece of rope. And then take that one. Oops, that's hot. Probably should be wearing my rubber fingers. But you know how that goes. Too lazy to get them. Okay, so that's done. We're going to let that cool. And we'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have our braid, that has made that yarn almost 2 inches wide. The reason I had you braid it, or I braid it, is because my original version of this was made with something called loopy chenille that was approximately 1.5 inches to 2 inches in diameter, and it had wire in the center of it. I just like the thicker. You could, of course, just use this, but you want to follow the scallop of the basket when you adhere it, but we're not going to do that just yet. What we're going to do next is we're going to cover this foam ball with the chenille yarn. So I'm going to put a little drop of glue on the top in the center and stick the end of it in there on it. And then we're just going to wind the chenille around the ball. So, like so. And I will come back when that's finished. Okay, I just thought of something. Side note here. When you're adhering this chenille to the sphere, when you put your glue down, see, I'm a little off center there. This is higher up. What you want to do is go down about a quarter, or I don't know, yeah, about a quarter of an inch, and put a line of glue in there. Do not pull the chenille, because if you pull it, it'll make it a smaller diameter, and you want it to be fluffy. Okay? And I just fixed where I went wrong, so, and it did that because I pulled the chenille instead of just laying it down and smushing it in, like so. Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish this and be right back. Okay, now that we're back, we've got the sphere covered up. I took some scrap yarn and wrapped it around the actual stick because I don't like guts showing. So when we attach this to the basket, you're not going to see the sticks. I also, at the bottom of the ball, I made a couple of passes with the yarn just so that, I don't know, kind of give it a neck, I guess. I don't know. Just an idea. This is not the way I originally did it, but I wanted to try something a little bit different since this is like 20 years later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere the head to the inside of the basket in the center. See where I'm holding that? It's in the center. This basket is scalloped, so it's very easy to tell where the center is. If you don't have a scallop basket, I would use a measuring tape and take off the center so that you know where the center is, because you don't want this to be crooked. So I'm going to put some Gorilla Glue on this chenille yarn. This is also going to help it adhere to the basket. I'm going to place that in so that the top of the basket is touching the yellow yarn. Oops, hopefully and we're going to hold that there for a couple minutes because we want the glue to harden a little bit. A little bit of the glue is peeking through, but we're going to cover that up. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to cover that. Okay, so the next step is we're going to start again in the center of the basket where you're putting the head. And we're going to adhere this to the wicker basket. Just like that. Very easy. Again, I chose the center because when we come around, we don't want this ugly ends touching. I mean, it's gonna show. And my plan is to put a bow tie right here so that it doesn't show. So I think that will be cute. Now we're just going to follow the top edge of the basket, line it with some glue, and attach your braided chenille to it. So we need a new glue stick. Be generous with the glue, but not so generous that it's going to burn you. And I am just following this curved, scalloped area. And I'm trying to get the center of the braid on that so you could see the up and down scallops. So I'm going to finish this up and I'll be right back with the next step. Okay, so we're back and we're approaching the end or the beginning. So I'm going to show you how to attach this so that it doesn't show. We're going to try to attach it so it doesn't show. I'm just putting more hot glue pretty generously. It's highly likely I'm going to burn myself at this point in time. Maybe not. Okay. That's good. This head is a little wobbly, so we're putting in more glue. I would have zip tied the sticks to this, but I didn't think about it until just now. I should have done that. That's the other thing you could do to secure it better, is just zip tie the top of the stick that's in the basket, like right about here. Zip tie it into the basket. But this rattan is not, I don't know, it's not very sturdy, I don't think, so that's the other reason why I wouldn't want to do that. Now you just cut your excess. I cut up at an angle. And you're going to glue the edges together to hide that section there. Like I said, this part really isn't going to show because we're going to stick a bow in there. Okay. Sorry if I keep going out of focus. We're going to just set this aside for now. I think the next thing we're going to do is pick out our little eye screws. They're literally little black dots. They have, oops, a screw back on them, but we're not going to use the screw back. We're going to use these as eyes. You think those are good right there? Okay. So we got 2 of those. We just got to find our placement. That's cute, right? Okay. We're going to hit that with some glue. And we're going to push it into the foam. The key to this is you need to get it in between where you glued. In between the glue lines, because it will not go through the glue. Hopefully I get this, it's even. Pushing really good there. These are just teddy bear doll eyes. You can get them right on Amazon. I just searched doll parts and I found them. And then, you know, you get this whole thing of them. all different sizes and colors. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our beak. This also was on Amazon, our duck beak. And I don't know how well this is going to stick, but I think it'll be fine. That might be too big. Let me see where they send you all 3 sizes. So you have small ones, medium ones, and larger ones. Yeah, this is too, oops, that's too big. This medium-sized one, that's large. Might do the trick. Yep. That's perfect, right? Or should I go with a small one? Yeah, I'm choosing the small one. Gonna be generous with the Gorilla Glue on this. And I'm just going to hold this into the chenille until it sets up. Isn't that adorable? We're not quite done yet though, so hang tight. I'll be right back with the next step. Okay, so we're back. The next step is what I had remaining left of my original braid was about 9 inches long. So what you're going to do with that remaining yarn is you're going to place a drop of glue, just a tiny drop, you don't need a lot, well, in a couple of areas, you know, in between the end and the center, because the center is glued and each end is glued. I glued each end together, and then I placed a drop of glue about 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches apart, every couple of inches. We're going to fold this up together, and we're going to attach it directly to the center of the basket across from the head, okay? So we're going to just throw some glue on there. All right. The other great thing about this yarn is you really can't see where it ends and begins. Just make sure it's adhered properly. And just cut whatever's excess. And now we're going to take our feathers. Oops. A little top heavy there. And, well, I don't need all these. You need a few for the back. Let's see, we'll go with 5. And we need 1 for the top of the head, I think. Or maybe, yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll do 2. So you get this big bag of feathers. You only need about 6 or 7 of them. But I got a bunch left, so maybe I'll make more baskets if I can find them. Okay, that's out of the way. We're going to take our feathers for the back. We might have to trim those stalks or the edge. These are actual real feathers, so I don't know, I probably shouldn't be using these scissors with them, but they're my favorites. And we're going to glue the feathers into the braid. I like to lift it up so that it doesn't really show, but the feathers are kind of going to cover this little tail thing we did. So you just need a drop of glue and stick it in there like so, because you don't want the quill of the feather to show. Pretty simple. I cut the quills till they're only the edge sticking out because I don't want it to show. That's just me. You could do whatever you want, but I like this method best. And simple, simple. So you have the tail feathers. I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of glue because I want to make sure it is secure. Don't want your stuff falling apart on your customers, do you? I know I don't. I get very upset if I mess something up. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of these and we're going to weave it inside. Oops, if it fits. Yeah, right there. I'm doing it right under the handle of the basket so that they're even. Just gonna stick the quills in the wicker, or whatever you want to call it. Wicker, rattan, it's all the same to me. So we have our little wing feathers. I like to use real feathers because they give it that little extra something, something. You want to pull them back a little bit when you glue them down. Right? And so now your side, oops, what happened? You got to mess with these a little bit sometimes. But we're going to go inside, see where the quills are. We're going to attach them to the rattan. Just take a quick minute or two. All right. Got to play with positioning here. Sorry about the delay. Just trying to make this a quick video. I am going to use an extra feather on this side because it looks a little wonky. go. I am gonna cut 2 like inch-long pieces of this yarn. And I'm going to glue it onto the quill of the feathers because I don't want them showing. We'll do the other side. Okay, there you have it. You have your little duck, little Easter duck. So now we're going to take this cow patty that I made out of gaps and cracks, that insulator, spray foam insulator. And we're gonna wedge this into the bottom of the basket so we can put some flowers or other embellishments in there. I think it'll be cute. So I'm gonna tag this with some hot glue. Give it a second to cool a little bit so it adheres quicker. Okay. Found an extra feather. I'm gonna put it over here. See, now there is the inside of your basket, nice and neat. You're not really gonna see it inside of it anyways, depending on what you put in it. I mean, when I was a kid and I made this the first time, my mother loved it, absolutely loved it. But I did a big rectangular basket, and we used this when we colored our Easter eggs. She put Easter grass in it, and we used to put our Easter eggs in it. I made a bunch of them. They were pretty popular, and this is back in the 80s. So the other thing we can do, if you wanted to, was wrap the chenille around the arm of the basket. If that's what you were going to do, you could also, once that was done, put a bow on the side. But I'm not going to do that. I am going to use some of these flowers and greenery. I'm not going to use a lot, but just enough to nice little spring arrangement with these daisies. I love this bundle. It's got every kind of greenery you would need. That, you know, just make it look different. Even this, I think what I love about it is the sticks look real. And I'm going to use a few pieces of this. What the hell is it called? Dog. Shoot. I don't remember the name of it. But it's pretty popular. I use these as filler in everything I make with flowers. I think it's a great filler piece. And you really don't need a lot. Okay, so we're back. I have decided to revise this a little bit. I decided to wrap the handle in the chenille, which is adorable. And I am going to go around the top part of the basket. In here where you can see the rattan. I want that to look finished. So I'm just sticking this chenille around around the basket. I think it looks more finished. I don't know. I like things to look finished. Some people think I overdo. I overuse materials, but my thought is if you want something made well and you have the stuff available, just make it to the best of your ability. That is what I try to do. There. Now that has a more finished look, I think. Right? Would we all agree? So this is going to probably be for sale in my Etsy store, which is Lakeside Crafts by Kim.etsy.com. You can message me if you want a material list, if you want to try to make this. I will do what I can to get you the links. I don't really remember every place I bought everything, but we'll try and see what we can come up with. So isn't that cute? All right, now I should have heated up my skillet, but here we go again. No skillet. We're gonna stick the greenery in. I think I want these scattered. I've only got about 7. I'm gonna not really overdo here because I don't want to take away from the chick. So I just hot glue this end of the thing, and I'm just spreading them out about 1 inch apart. You don't need to go crazy with the glue. And this is, I usually, when I do an arrangement, I don't really like to put the grass on first because it's really hard to get through glue with these things, and I'm not really a fan of using those U-shaped pins. I mean, I will use them, but not really my favorite thing to do. So what I usually do is I glue in the first layer of greenery, and then I take my Spanish moss or whatever I'm using and just fill it in. Ugh. This is real Spanish moss, guys. Got it at Dollar Tree. So pardon me if I sneeze. And I just tuck the Spanish moss in between the greenery. I don't glue it down because really, where's it gonna go? You're gonna put more flowers in there and that's gonna hold it down. Just my thought. I think it's a waste of material. It's, I think, a cheaper alternative to That's good. Now we gotta pick all this off. Okay. All right. Wow, what a mess. Okay. Now let's grab some more greenery. I'm getting this. I'm not gonna use a lot of this bush, but just for some taller pieces. I love my channel lock. I thought I needed to buy a stem cutter, but not with these babies. I'm gonna keep some yellow peeping out there. Okay, so I am going to finish filling my basket with flowers, and I will be back. Okay, so we have one more step left that I forgot about. We need a bow. I have decided to go with this ribbon like I thought I would, just because it matches the flowers perfectly. Very pretty. And I'm not a fan of plaid, but I do like this ribbon. So we're going to make our bow. We are going to start with, okay, we're going to start with a 5-inch tail. So at 5 inches, I pinched up the center. Now I'm going to twist. I'm going to come out 7 inches. Let's see what that does. We're going to pinch that and twist. We're going to come out another 7 inches, fold it in, and let's see where we're at here. Are our loopies even? Yes. And we're going to twist it. We're going to come back. We're going to go halfway to the edge. And did I pinch and twist? The pinch and twist is so important. I don't like making hand bows, but I do make them if they're smaller, for smaller things. So we're going to pinch and twist. Pinch and twist. And we're going to go one small loop for the very center. Okay, now I lost the pipe cleaner. Oh my goodness. Found it. Gonna have to use this gold one. I had a hot pink one out, but we're gonna cover it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you pinch that one, leave your tail hanging, and you're gonna put your pipe cleaner around. And you're going to twist the actual bow itself. That's going to give you a real tight hold. And we don't need a lot of this, so we're going to cut that off. Now we're going to find our other tail. We're going to cut this side to the same length. We are going to cut a length. Doesn't even matter how long. Okay. I'm going to fold that in half. And we're going to, I like to stick it under one side of the center loop, diagonally underneath the bow. And we're going to tie it in a knot because we don't really want this pipe cleaner to show. I usually separate the tails when I do this. And I just tie it in a knot. Pull out my other end of the pipe cleaner. cut those short pieces. We're gonna fluff out our bow. Oops, what'd I do?